All right, here is a video review of something much anticipated, and it's pretty cool, Diaclone Battle Convoy. Now, Battle Convoy, the original Diaclone Battle Convoy is what gave us Optimus Prime. And you'll see that. It's very evocative here. It's just kind of neat to see that, like, from that point in Transformers, while we've gotten some variations on, like Armada Optimus Prime and Cybertron Optimus Prime and, you know, animated and things like that, the basic cues of Optimus Prime and Transformers have stayed the same, whereas this clearly is based on that same base robot, but a very different design evolution here for the Diaclone reboot. So he's got in this trailer, it's got treads and it's got little rolly wheels. It comes in ginormous packaging. It's already, the robot itself is not super large. The trailer is pretty big. As you can see, it's a big empty trailer. You can buy extra sections. Like, you can see how these little gray pieces are little clips holding each section together here. But I think this can come off too. Yeah, so you can see where these pegs are. Everywhere these pegs are sections of. You can make this as long as you want. You can keep adding. You can pull this clip off and keep adding sections onto this thing. It's ridiculous. But I mean, like, I don't need any of those. This is big enough as it is. But as big as this trailer is, the box is, like, I wonder if Japan has an environment, because there's a lot of cardboard in there. Like, you get this huge box, and, like, this is sizable, but you're not prepared for the size of the box itself. And so much of it is filler cardboard around the trailer, and then there's the box with the robot in it, but then when you open up the box with the robot and all the other pieces in it, there's a couple plastic trays, and then there's just another another empty cardboard box inside that box to fill out that cardboard box with the trays in it, so that box fits the empty space next to the big box of cardboard around this trailer. If you have one, you know what I'm talking about, and if you don't and you have one on order, just wait. It's insane. But anyway, very large, and here he is. And here he is like what I call its all-in-one battle mode. And it's not all-in-one. There's still lots of little pieces here that are not currently attached. But he's got these little turrets up here, and they can raise individually. They can flip all the way around to shoot behind him. They can spin around. He's got this little UFO pod here, which we'll talk more about that later. His what I consider the main cockpit, only because it's part of the core robot and core cab. And then and the treads, but I mean, like, it's essentially around. There's a Diaclone pilot in here, and I think there's the other Diaclone pilot is right in there. And what's neat is you can see there's actually a little battle harness that goes down over the Diaclone pilot and holds him in place, and you can lock the canopy down. Same up this side as the other side. Here are little clips. You pop those open, and you can fold this up. There's also a little panel here, so this whole ramp comes down. And inside of here is, you can call it, a little battle wagon that can roll out. This is the lower half of what becomes his truck cab. And this is like a platform, repair platform. These little missiles come off, missile launchers. There's some little fins that can rotate out. You can angle it up. I mean, that didn't work. But it's pegged on back here. So you can make this into its own little battle array. And then, or you can just take this off. And we're going to, but this has a bunch of different functions. It can angle up. It's got some little like a little spotlight and on little hinges, and a little repair drill or a laser gun, whatever your imagination wants it to be. And then again, these little missiles here. We'll talk about this little platform later on. These also can slide up and down on these poles. So you got a lot of different options here when it comes to this this little platform. But we'll show that off with the trailer later. And inside, it's just, again, you can open it up. It's just a big hollow trailer. You can open up this little panel to support it. And I'm not going to show off every configuration inside of here, because it would be insane. These little pieces open. This should raise up, but you can spin this around. Hold on, plug that back on there. Yeah, this can rotate. You can bring the cockpit, this little canopy in, and this can actually elevator have to get it lined up right. The center part of that can actually elevator down, which is neat. And again, the other Diaclone pilot is sitting right in there. There's like the darker blue one and a lighter blue one. Like that. And then, again, gotta keep it straight. This whole piece can tab off, as you saw, and these pieces come out. There's some missile launchers in there, and it becomes kind of its own little flying UFO support drone. And you can leave it. You don't have to have it facing with the canopy out in vehicle mode. You can flip it around so just this is there as well, and this piece just kind of locks it in place. So it's up to you how you want to do that. But like I said, inside of here, I guess we'll go ahead and do this now. You can plug this in. I only have this guy and the Rooter Soldier right now, but you can plug in over here on the sides. There's some platforms here that open up. You can turn this whole thing. Well, okay, it's supposed to open up. There we go. It's right here like this. Wait, where was this plugged in? Oh, right here on the end. Wait, right here on the end? Oh, it was okay. It was. Sorry, it was slotted in here like this. But well, hold on. There we go. You can flip out all these little panels. There's one on each side. It just turns into this big, giant command center. And the more Diaclone figures you have, you can plug them in and have them all the way. You also get like some strips of like some computer decals, which I haven't applied yet. And then these black strips are actually little magnetic strips, thin and thick, that can go in these grooves here on this thing. So you have different areas to plug in, to use the magnetic feet in the Diaclone men to the pilots to stand and move around in here so they don't fall over in your display. That's just a lot of stuff I haven't done. Like I said, there's also, you get some more of these little individual clips like this to attach more sections, although I think if you get more sections, they'll come with some of them too. There's also a whole tray, and I haven't messed with these at all because I don't have any other vehicles to mess with, but that you can customize this base into whatever you want it to be. You can move these guns come around. You can move them up here if you want when you're in base mode. This thing's huge. So it's entirely up to you. You've got all the stuff you need to customize it. I just haven't had. Looks like there's supposed to be something in here. Oh, let's see, something's empty here, but this is where the turrets were. So you've got a lot of that customization here on, and like I said, this can go. There's a lot of different places you can plug this in. You could have it right here in the middle to be kind of. Can it go right there in the middle? Okay. You can flip that down. There's one in the middle, so you literally can stick it anywhere you want, and you can have this kind of mimic that old repair robot in the middle of Optimus's original trailer. You can kind of you can flip this down and have him stand on this and have it be a little repair drone. But yeah, so that's the trailer. We're going to go ahead and fold it back up. Go ahead and tuck all this in. Just like that. Yeah, that'll just still fit. We'll just kind of plug this in here, fold that down. I'll just go ahead and fold these panels in, close it back up, fold these little supports down, fold the trailer back up, and then clip that back into place. It's locked in. It's like I said, you don't have to have the cockpit facing out if you just want this to look more like just a trailer versus a secondary command thing. This part right here unplugs. You unplug this, and then you fold up these little panels here, and then bring this out. Because it is just one peg hole here pegs onto the front of this, and that's what holds it onto the trailer itself. We'll push the trailer off to the side. This unit is a secondary command, so you can have this battle wagon, and you can also, with this cockpit here, you can put a Diaclone pilot in this with some guns here. These can rotate, angle up a little bit if you want. You can pull, if you pull these out, these pieces right here can also kind of come up, and if you don't have the battle platform attached, can form some guns. And again, there's ports all over this thing, so the more Diaclone figures you have, the more options you have for plugging in weapons and things, but it's its own little separate battle platform. This right here, if you fold these up like this, fold out these fins from the top and bottom, like that, and then some fins here on either side of the front, and then there's some little skids that come down here and it becomes a little kind of, and you angle these guns up, becomes a kind of little battle jet. So you got a battle jet and a battle platform working in concert with. And again, if you pop that little UFO bit off, a lot of little vehicles working in tandem with the command center trailer, like that. You can also take this, fold all these back up, collapse this down, bring this down like this, and flip out this peg down here on the bottom. And then you'll go ahead and collapse these back down into there. Come on, you kind of need to peg them together. There's a port right here that you take this, and sometimes it takes a little bit of extra pushing right on top of where that peg is. These little tabs right here will fit into these slots on the interior of this, but the main thing is to get this snapped on right here. And like I said, that can take a little bit of effort to get it to snap all the way in, and there it is. And then just kind of put those down over the tabs here. And this gun should have stayed. You kind of come up front, slot it in there, and then slide it. Once it's all the way up in there, slide it forward, and it locks it into place. And this is this is essentially the Optimus cab for the trailer. And then down here, this can come in and plug in to these holes right here on the trailer. Some of the pictures have this angled out forward like that, and you can pull it, but you do have the option of getting this. Oh, I guess that is actually, I guess it does need to be angled forward, because otherwise you're lifting the front treads up, which is a little bit disappointing, because here it looks a little bit more natural pulling the thing. It will still pull it just fine here, but if you push it all the way back, it does lift those treads up. So now you've got the little cab pulling the trailer. Again, an updated battle convoy from Diaclone. And as such, we'll go ahead and pop the trailer back off. If we can. Oh, come on, well, that's really on there. Okay. Fold that back up. And then when that's not attached, you can fold that under there like that. We'll put that off to the side. And then here, we'll go ahead, take these wheels and collapse them down and around, all the way up like that. Same over here. There's this hinge and this hinge, so fold that up, and it kind of slides. Make sure it comes all the way up and around there. Go ahead and pop these rifles off. Take this cockpit off as well. And then bring the legs down like this, and then fold this up, fold this up, bring the feet up, split the legs, and then these will fold around the body, and then you can tuck those. Fold this on the hinge around there, and then you can see there's a slot there inside the leg. Just fold that down. Rotate them around at the waist. And then this is what's cool, because the arms, you can see they just slot off, these little thrusters right here, but they're also on a hinge here. So when you rotate this around, and then you can see the slot up here, so without having to pull this out and pop that out and attach it up there, the little hinges automatically articulate it, so you just rotate it around, and then it should slot right forward into where it needs to be for this mode. And then lift this up like this, push this cockpit all the way back into the body like that, turn his head around, rotate this piece around, and then flip it forward. And here you're starting to see the Optimus come out on this guy. He's got these little shoulder cannons. Bring the arms down and around, open up the two halves here. Open up that, rotate his fist out, and again open up the centerpiece here, and then the actual fin is part of it. It opens up here. Put that thruster in, and there he is in robot mode. You can give him his rifles. He's got posable fingers. I mean, very articulated. And this canopy, you can. There's a lot of things you can do with this. If you want, sometimes because it's part of the vehicle mode, you can just kind of plug it onto his back. It fits better facing downward, but it's less obvious from the front if you have it facing up, although it does angle a little bit. You could take this, if you've folded all this around, you could plug it back onto the front of the battle canopy. although it does look a little silly there. You could fold it. I mean, it's got a peg under here. You could plug it under here as like an ancillary weapon system. Although again, due to the shape of it is weird, you could flip that. Actually, that doesn't look too bad right there. Although the cannons don't come all the way up. Lift it up like that, I guess. Just store it wherever. But you can see there is a much more evocative of Optimus. He's got some little missile launchers here you can flip up in his chest. It's cool, little Diaclone pilot there. Can stay in the cockpit, cannot be in the cockpit, up to you. There is some space here if you wanted to put an Autobot symbol on him. I think he's different enough from the Transformers line that I don't know that you need to, but I don't intend to, but it's there. He does have several ports on his back, as well as you can fold this down to get another peg that will allow some of the other Diaclone vehicles to attach to him. I guess, does that look better if you flip his feet around like that? I don't know. But you can see all ports and plugs all over him to allow just lots of customization. I know there's some vehicles coming out that will... sorry, paint's chipping there a little bit, which is a bit of a shame, that little blue spot there on his shin. But yeah, hinges, swivels. It's got all the articulation, like the fingers open, waist swivel, thigh swivel, the dual hinge hips, the super... Again, it's a single hinge there at the knee. Toes, foot rotates and swivels. Ball turn at the head. Nice little thing. Now, I tried to dig out my G1 Optimus to do a comparison here because I wanted to put him in the frame. Like, here's Battle Convoy. It is the Diaclone reimagining now of the original Battle Convoy, which gave us Optimus Prime. Here is Leader Class Earthrise Optimus Prime. And I wanted to have him right here. I can't find him. I know he was in my office at work. I brought him home. Can't find him anywhere. Because I wanted to put him in the middle and show the two divergent paths. Optimus in Transformers has had stylized versions of it, but for the most part, this basic look since we first got him. And this is clearly, when you look at it, inspired by Optimus Prime, but took a very different shape and take on the robot. I just think it's neat. But yeah, also, to give you an idea, very large trailer, insanely huge box for a figure that is not much larger than a Voyager class figure. And I mostly got him to fight the Rerooters, because like these are my two Diaclone guys right now. I have Rerooter Soldier and Battle Convoy. But if you have a Rerooter Soldier, that'll give you about a size glance. He's not... A lot of his box is the trailer, although that trailer does tend to offer a lot more play value than your standard Earthrise. Do I have it here? Yeah. It is a lot more bang for the buck with all of the accessory pieces and things you get for it than just an empty square that Earthrise had. So he's neat, he's fun, he's not cheap. He feels more... and again, I've played with these two, and I played with the first Diaclone Reboot figure that they released. He feels more worth the money you're spending, but it's still very expensive for the size of the basic figure you get. He is cool, though, although I am a little sad about that chipping paint. And like I said, just touching it to say, is that a chip? It chipped off more, so be careful with that. But yeah, there is Diaclone Battle Convoy with his big trailer and insanely gymongous packaging. He's pretty cool. I don't know. Looking back, I don't know if I would have made such a big deal about wanting to get him. He's neat. He's neat. I don't regret it. I don't know where he's going to fit, really, is what it comes down to. I don't know if I have a space for him. We'll find one. But design-wise, it's just neat to see the divergent paths they did, and to see it reinterpreted in such a way. Because he does look like a really cool, like, I'm going to kick your butt Optimus robot mode. A very neat mech that, if it were real, I would love to be the one sitting in that pilot seat and piloting.